Hey, welcome to the Ransom Experience, where we talk to past students, we talk to people that are volunteering with us, and we talking to different people that are within our organization. Today, I get the pleasure of interviewing our very new member of our team, Angela. So thanks for coming today, Angela.
Thank you.
All right, so I want to kind of set this up. Angela has, we've known her for 5, 6 years. How long ago was it? 3 years. What, 2018?
2018.
2018. You came through, actually through Ransom Reprogram. I'm going to let you tell us a little bit about you kind of before we met, kind of where you were as a child, how you were raised, and then we're going to kind of get to how we got hooked up in this this endeavor we have here. So tell me a little bit about you.
Well, I've been raised in this area most of my life. I have a good family. My mom struggled a lot. She was in and out of marriages and addiction herself. So I saw a lot of chaos growing up. There was a lot of trauma in the home, and it just kind of really affected me in my life from then on. I did graduate high school, but I didn't really do anything after that. I kind of just stopped. And I worked. I had a decent life for myself, but I could never find happiness in anything. So, and there was always drugs, always drinking and partying. At about 33 years old, I really went down hard. I got into some really hard drugs, started getting arrested and in and out of jail, started getting felonies. So it just kind of, once it started spiraling, it went fast, it went real quick. I ended up in jail in 2018 and just decided that that was not the life for me. I was in there for 2 months, and I saw people around me that were very okay with being in jail. I saw people that were excited to go to prison, and something just clicked. And I was like, wow, I don't want to be that one day. I don't want to be okay with this for the rest of my life. I did always have a sense in life that there was something more. There was just something bigger and greater out there. I just never had the answers to that. So I came through the Home of Grace and obviously came through Ransom Reprogram. That was a great opportunity to me because I can remember you telling us that we were your heroes. And there were other speakers that came out that just said really significant things that I kind of carried with me from then on. I still do, and I actually use the same advice for others at this point. And I stayed at the Home of Grace, working there for 3 years at the in the kitchen, and as a house mother, I mentor girls. I teach discipleship classes. I was a manager of the kitchen, and yesterday was my last day there, and today is my first day here. So everything's been really exciting. Nothing has stayed the same. God has just grown me and stretched me, and He's still doing it, but it's exciting now. I don't defeat myself any longer. I take those uncomfortable steps now.
That's so awesome, because I know you were in our very first class when we partnered with Home of Grace. Y'all were the first group to come over here, and I think last count is almost 300 ladies have been through.
Wow.
Since that class 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So I got to know you through that process when you were first finishing up your stay at the Home of Grace for your 90 days, and then you again, what I saw in you was that you persevered through things, and so how did you do that? How did you kind of keep perspective? Because we've seen out of those 300 women that have been through here, we've seen a lot of them not deal with things the same way. Like when things would go wrong, they would a lot of times be sucked back into the
Yeah.
old life, the old way of doing things, the old way of doing. So what are some things that helped you not do that?
Well, I think mostly was my relationship with God. And I was on a solid foundation with that. I had gone through a discipleship. So I had some foundational truths, and I had some, biblical, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like a foundation, biblical foundation?
Yeah, just, even though I still had a lot of other issues and underlying things that have needed, I just clung to that. I clung to the relationship. But I think the biggest thing for me was there was no going back. There was no option for me to go back. There was nothing to go back to, even if I wanted to return to anything. So I just kept my eyes set on the prize. I didn't even know what the prize really was. I still don't know what it is. I know God's got so much for me. But my community was a big part of that. My community staying very rooted and grounded, working in ministry. There's just so many different things. But I can say that when nothing else gave me passion, when everything else seemed, in these tough times, like nothing was going to get better and everything felt so dry and hopeless, there was always God. Yeah. There was always that relationship with the Lord,
So that's the key point, and then surrounding yourself by people that are going to speak into you.
Yes, community.
We were talking about earlier, with those people, because a lot of times, we speak to ourselves worse than we would ever let anyone else speak to us. Mm-hmm. And so when that's happening, we need people in our lives that will speak life into us. Mm-hmm. Speak, hey, it's not going to be that bad, or whatever. So having those people help that also. So what I did was I watched you consistently do ministry, working. I was in the restaurant business for years, so I know kitchen work is not easy. Mm-hmm. You was catering, you was running the show, keeping things organized, and I just saw a real consistency in you. Mm-hmm. And like I said, even through rough times, I watched you go through a really rough time in your life too. That I saw you handle it with, I'm sure it was rough on the inside. On the inside, it was rough behind the doors. All of us have that, but you just reached out to people around you. You always had those people, and a lot of times that healing happens on our own for a little while, and then we're able to start doing what we're supposed to do.
Yes.
And I saw you doing that as far as being the house mother, also running, doing classes with the ladies. Mm-hmm. So I got to a point where I was just like, I'm either going to have to step out in faith and find somebody to do this, or I'm going to have to not do it. Because I was burnt. I was to the point where I can't keep going and doing recycling. And I shared that in the talk I had with Sandy, was that I had to find somebody to help me grow this thing, because it's not going to grow if I do it all by myself. So I started praying, and it was funny because me and Tara were sitting around my wife, and we were talking, and your name came up to both of us. Mm-hmm. And I've been doing this long enough that I just don't flippantly throw things aside that I feel like God's kind of given me. Yeah. Especially when it's me and Tara together. And so I just started really praying about it, and I was like, I'm just going to ask her. Because I believe this is that Jesus gave us a way to find the people to be in our, what'd you call it, your community. Yes. He found those people. He went out looking for them. Yeah. He didn't just wait for them to come to him. Yeah. He went out looking for them, so he found those people to help him do what he was doing. Because see, even Jesus couldn't do it by himself. That's right. Yeah. So I'm nowhere near like Jesus, but I can't do it by myself. So he had to find the people that could do that. So what I remember is just thinking, man, she has been so consistent. I know she's got to be organized, because a kitchen has to be organized. And so I just put it out there, and the next thing you know, today's your first day with us. Yes, yes. And I'm so excited to see how you're going to take Reprogram to another level, to a place that I couldn't take it. We've had people in the past that have taken it very far and done excellent things and set the foundation for me to be able to do it. But now I've got someone else in here that will give it a whole new, maybe look at it a little different. Because you are a graduate, because you have been through the program,
Yes.
because you've been through the same program as these ladies are coming from the Home of Grace, you have a different perspective, and they already respect you. And so I think it's going to be a good fit. I really feel like I just think that I'm blessed to have you in this group, in our team.
Thank you.
Because I
I
really
feel the
feel like
same
you're
way.
going to bring so much good to it. So do you have any other words of wisdom? So when I called you, because a lot of people out here listening, they like get a call like that maybe, and they're like, I don't know if I really want to do that, because I'm feeling kind of comfortable where I am a little bit. I don't know if you were, but I know I've done that. When I got called into ministry or doing what I'm doing now, I was comfortable, and it was hard to pull away. But so tell me kind of that process, when I kind of called you, because I remember, one thing I do remember, you called one day and said, if there's ever anything, remember when you
I
called?
did, yeah.
If you ever have a need, give me a
Think of me.
know. Yeah, let me know. Now, I thought about that too when Tara brought it up. I was like, well, man, that was months ago, but hey, tell me a little bit about
6
what
months
you went
ago,
through.
yeah. I was really honored, first off, but of course, at the Home of Grace, I'm not leaving there completely. I'm still going to be very much so involved in that ministry. But the kitchen had become very uncomfortable. I was so comfortable that it became uncomfortable. And so I just knew that it was time to go, and that you called, and I love this place, this ministry, what you guys do. I have a lot of respect for y'all. So in that, I went through a lot of insecurity. I started really kind of beating myself down, like, you're not going to be able to perform this job. You're not going to live up to what their expectations are. You're not going to bring anything to the plate, and I just had to stop myself and captivate those thoughts. And I realized that all of my life, there's no wonder that I've never done really well, because I always talked myself out of doing really well before I could even try, So I just recognized all of this. I pushed through. I talked to people about it. That's a lie. That's a lie that I believe about myself, that I can't move forward and I can't grow. And, so God started really ministering to me, that I was made on purpose, for a purpose, and that in the trying, that I'm going to learn and grow from that, and I don't know anyone in my life right now that's going to let me sink. They're not. So I just kind of pushed through that stuff, and I know that in that I overcame some insecurities and some things in that. I renewed my mind, just by taking this job and stepping out and not doing and not counting myself as a failure first. I have done some things that are gonna just strengthen me and better me. So all the way around, this job's already begun to help me and assist in my growth.
That is
Yeah.
so cool to watch that process, though, because really, if you think about any new job, that goes on in your mind. Can I do it?
Yes.
Can I? And if it doesn't, then you might have some pride issues that you need to work on. But I think honesty is huge in what we do, and sharing those things, even with your students, the people that have come through the program, is you just let them know that I have insecurities too.
Yep.
And just because I'm in this position doesn't mean any different. But I think it don't matter what job you're going to or what kind of career change or any kind of change you're making, you're always going to question whether or not you can do it or not. But the key is what you said, is you just had to push through that.
Yeah.
And you had to renew your mind, and you had to take those thoughts captive, and you had to do the things that you need to do that we're taught through the Word of God, but we don't always do those right away.
Yeah.
But I think it shows me that as we go on in this relationship through Ransom, that you're going to have times where you're going to doubt. There's going to be times where you're going to question yourself, you're going to question your calling, you're going to question, I do it a lot.
Yeah.
But I know that if you've already been practicing those things, that you can get through those.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
mine. You know, our biggest thing is just be honest. You know, if you're struggling, I talked to you a little bit about today. It's about, I believe you need to take care of yourself. You know, we have to take care of ourselves, self-care, whatever that might be. And you have to make sure that those times you spend by yourself are to make you better here.
Yeah.
And that's the key, is that I don't need you, you know, burning the candle at both ends to try to be the savior. I think you used that word.
Yeah.
But I had that, I'm the savior. Well, I've learned long ago I can't fix nobody.
Can't fix them.
That is not my job. My job is to be available and let God do the thing he needs to do and let them make their choices. But ultimately, we're here to serve. So I'm excited to see what God's going to do. I've already been, you know, the very first day I've seen that this is going to be a good thing, and we're going to be able to work together and make this reprogram excellent.
Yeah.
And that's what I want. I don't want it to be good. I don't want this. I've never wanted this ministry just to be good.
Yeah.
I want it to be excellent, because I think that's what God, when he made this world, when he made you, he looked at you and said, you are excellent.
Yeah.
And so he expects the things that he's put together to be excellent. And so we're going to try to do that together. There's going to be times I'm going to annoy you. There's going to be times that I'm going to I'm just not a good person all the time. But I try to be.
Really?
Yeah. But I also try to be honest. So if I do, and I want you to do the same. So
Yeah.
And hopefully each of you out there will get out here to Chickasaw, come see us, come spend some time and tour our facilities, hang out in a class. We always need teachers. And now we have Angela, who's going to be your contact. And you can contact her, and we can get you lined up to teach. We can get you lined up to sit in on our employer roundtables, our mock interviews, all the different things that we do. We do resume writing. And these classes, I say teacher, they're not really that hard to teach. All it is getting up there, sharing your heart, sharing who you are, and just being open and honest with the people we're serving. And we'd love to have you be part of it. We also need lunches every day. So, you know, go to our website, ransomministries.com. Angela, I appreciate you. You know, I put you on the spot, putting you on here the very first day. But I just wanted to introduce you to the people out there and let them know why we feel led that you're supposed to be in this position. So I'm excited to see what you're going to do, y'all. Go on to wherever you get your favorite podcast. Share this with your friends. Rate us. Subscribe to our channel. Get on our. We have all the Instagram. We have Twitter. We have Snapchat and Facebook. Get on there. We update every day. And we hope that you have enjoyed my talk with Angela. And until next week, we'll see you next week.
Bye.